Former Valley nurse taking a plea deal in one of the most disturbing cases we've covered. The nurse, Nathan Sutherland, is accused of raping an incapacitated patient at Hacienda Healthcare.
And yet she ended up delivering that baby without anyone at that facility even knowing she was pregnant at the time. Our Kim Powell is in the newsroom tonight with what that new plea deal means for the rest of the case. Kim.
Yeah, initially Nathan Sutherland pleaded not guilty to the charges, but now he's had a change of tune, pleading guilty and bypassing a trial. He's looking at between 5 and 10 years in prison, but some people think that's not nearly enough.
Devastated that he even did this, but let alone now he's not even going to be punished adequately.
Davina Ballard was a nurse for a Hacienda-affiliated program. She didn't know Nathan Sutherland personally, but she says people who have worked at the long-term care facility are shocked at the plea deal parameters.
This man did a heinous crime, and he's getting a slap on the wrist, and it's not right. And everyone I've talked to that worked at Hacienda, they're furious. None of us can believe that that's all he's going to get is a slap on the wrist.
Sutherland pleaded guilty to raping a patient who was incapacitated. No one knew what happened or even knew the patient was impregnated until she went into labor months later. According to DNA evidence, Sutherland, a nurse caring for the victim, was the father.
When you have DNA evidence, that's one of the strongest evidence that you can have.
Benjamin Taylor is a defense attorney not affiliated with this case, but said it's not surprising Sutherland opted for a plea deal.
The defendant chose his actions, and now he decided to take a plea to resolve his case because he's looking at more time. And he realized that if I go to trial and lose, I'm getting more time.
According to the Maricopa County Attorney's Office, Sutherland could face 5.25 to 10 years in prison for the sex assault charge and a lifetime of probation for vulnerable adult abuse.
The judge, the prosecutor, the defense attorney have to come together and look at the criminal history of the defendant. If the defendant doesn't have that much criminal history, that's why the defendant gets a plea that might be slightly less than some other people.
And the CEO of Hacienda Healthcare released a statement saying they're relieved Sutherland finally pleaded guilty. They also said, quote, "We have cooperated in every possible way with law enforcement and investigators. Now we hope the judge will sentence Sutherland appropriately given the severity of his crimes. As ever, our hearts are with the victim and her family. May these final steps in the legal process help them find peace." Sutherland is set to be sentenced on November 4th.